Cup Juvenile presented by Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance. First wire at the post. They're off in the Juvenile. There goes Jackie's Warrior out for the lead. There's Dreamer's Disease out showing early speed, and Classier is up close in between that pair. Dreamer's Disease striding forward for the lead as they move into the first turn past Jackie's Warrior. There goes Classier taking second. Jackie's Warrior shuffled to third. Likeable now moves up, takes over that third spot, boosts Jackie's Warrior back into fourth as they move around the turn. Next is in fifth, and a break of nearly 5 more lengths as they hit the backstretch to Hot Rod Charlie. Hot Rod Charlie moves up on the outside into the sixth position around King Fury seventh. Essential Quality back in eighth. Reinvestment Risk is ninth. Calibrate is in 10th position. And then Camp Hope, who's 11th to the inside. Rumbauer 12th. The margin of 8 more lengths. Sitting on Go is far, far back. Next to last, and Keep Me in Mind is the trailer. It was 22.58 at the quarter, 45.31 seconds for the opening half mile. Dreamer's Disease, the leader, 3/4 of a length into the far turn. Likeable is second. Here's Jackie's Warrior moving up third on the outside around Classier in fourth. Jackie's Warrior now taking second, a length and a half off the lead. Further back, Hot Rod Charlie picks up several positions. So does Essential Quality, moving up 3 and 5 lengths respectively at the quarter pole within Dreamer's Disease and Jackie's Warrior as they turn into the short stretch, and Hot Rod Charlie keeps moving up on the outside. Hot Rod Charlie moves up to challenge Jackie's Warrior as the field moves off the turn. Essential Quality is still third and still moving at the leaders from the outside. Final furlong of the Juvenile. Essential Quality coming forward for the lead. Late run from Keep Me in Mind. Hot Rod Charlie to the inside. Essential Quality and Luis Saez have won the TVG Breeders Cup Juvenile. 1 minute 42.09 seconds.
What a performance here from Essential Quality. Brad Cox has had himself a day here on Future Stars Friday. Caden, let's go to the replay. Just a perfect trip for Essential Quality.
Sat off the pace, but the pace was stiff early on, and you have to spot those blue silks making the move. Now he's going to have to go the Highland route, circling the pace setters, but the pace was pretty torrid, and none of the horses on the front end were able to ever really settle into a very comfortable rhythm with challenges from many different positions. But there you see Essential Quality just kicking it into gear. He strikes you as the type that's going to get even better as the distances get longer, and certainly handled all the challenges involved to get the victory under Luis Saez, who I believe is celebrating his first Breeders' Cup victory.
Simon, this was a very classy performance from Essential Quality. Just did everything right. There was the setup for him, but Luis Saez rode this race perfectly.
Yeah, we were talking about track, the way the track was playing and the way the race was going to shape up. And I thought beforehand, as I mentioned, I thought he was going to show the ability to rate. He got the lead last time just because he was better than those other horses. And we've seen the two-term races, the Juvenile Fillies and this race, the ability to come from off the pace. So this track is playing fair. I think the sprint races, obviously the quickest horses went to the front and won easily earlier. But I think the ability to come from off the pace has shown that this track is playing fair, and a great performance here. A horse that, you know, made a real name for himself this afternoon, and is a horse to look forward to with that pedigree, Mike. There's no doubt he's going to get better in the transition from 2 to 3.
Playing fair, still playing fast, but playing fair. You can win from different spots on the racetrack. The times are coming back quite quickly. And I'll tell you what, Doug O'Neill has never run in a TVG Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Keeneland that he didn't like. Winning it 5 years ago with Nyquist. Hot Rod Charlie, Caton, made a big move, looked like was going to get there before Essential Quality picked him up.
Yeah, he really did. Hot Rod Charlie certainly outran his odds and was very game in defeat. But I will say that Essential Quality is a little misleading because he doesn't have that brilliant, quick burst of acceleration. He's the type that just gradually gets to you, but seems to know his way to the winner's circle and to the wire especially, which is the key for a very good horse, I think, in this case bred by Godolphin, who of course owns Essential Quality. Son of Tappet, to me, is the type that will get even better as he gets a little bit more ground to work with.
We'll get to the jubilant celebration in just a moment. Simon, we have to talk about the favorite in Jackie's Warrior. Sat a pretty good trip, was wide throughout. I think this horse probably covered a lot more ground than it appeared on that pan view.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was clear, but he was wide and giving up ground, and there was some question marks for me going in with the distance, and I think that proved to be the case here, Mike. I'm not so sure that the wide trip was the reason for his defeat. I mean, there was some pedigree question marks there about his ability to get 2 turns. I thought physically looking at him he would get it, but it just wasn't to be this afternoon here in the horse that's bred for the distance and the ground, and a good-looking son of Tapit. Look at him walk back there, true professional. Showed a lot of talent earlier this week. We've had our cameras on him all week long at breakfast at the Breeders' Cup, and a very good-looking individual and got the mind to go with it.
Kate, the inception of the Breeders' Cup was to settle year-end honors. This is our championship 2 days of racing. Did we settle 2-year-old championship with essential quality?
Oh, I think so. I mean, that was a pretty decisive victory for him at a distance of ground on the biggest stage, and showing that his last was no fluke. I think he'll be the champion.
Let's also talk about the day that Brad Cox is having. He has more runners in tomorrow, Simon. He's a trainer that has really become one of the top stables in the U.S., and you're seeing his horses perform at their peaks on the biggest day. It's one thing to win a lot of races. It's another to do it on a stage like this.
Yeah, I know. We get to see the swan song of Monomoy Girl tomorrow in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and arguably that's probably the filly on the mare now that put him on the map as far as the big stage several years ago. So he's got a full hand tomorrow with Monomoy Girl. Arklow, he's been touting all week, who's going to be a big number in the Breeders' Cup turf. So, yeah, big weekend just getting kicked off here for Brad Cox.
It's amazing to think his first Grade 1 win was with Monomoy Girl. Had a few more since